1, go. Hello everyone, this is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com, and we're going to head right back to the Big Ten Conference. We just can't get away from covering these teams, but we've had very good success during the 2012-13 campaign when covering what many believe to be the top conference in college basketball, which should serve us well during the NCAA tournament. The Indiana Hoosiers at the Minnesota Golden Gophers at Williams Arena is definitely the marquee game on the board tonight. 5.5-point road favorites Indiana opened up as. That number has risen as high as 6.5 on SBRodds.com, while the total has shifted downwards from 140 to 139. When you look at the Indiana Hoosiers, they've won and covered their last 4 games. That includes possibly their most impressive victory, not in terms of scoring margin, but just in terms of the opponent that it beat on its home floor. A 72-68 victory over the Michigan State Spartans as 1-point road underdogs. But that game came a week ago, so this team may come out a little less crisp offensively given the time off, and also the fact that they may have enjoyed that victory too long. That was their highest ranked opponent that they've ever beaten in a true road game, Michigan State coming in as the 4th ranked team in the country in that affair. They lead the nation in scoring margin, outscoring foes by 21.3 points per game, and they are really balanced offensively, especially in that starting lineup. 4 players have gone over the 1,000 career point mark. That is the first time in Indiana basketball history that has happened. They have also won 6 of 7 conference games on the road. Their only blemish, a 74-72 defeat that we played under the total in that game against Illinois. Indiana really controlled that game from the opening tip, led by 12 points at the break. Had a double-digit lead with basically 10 minutes to go in that game, but let it slip away. They still are 12-2 in conference play, but only 7-7 against the spread, 8-6 to the under. 88-81 victors in the first meeting in this series against Minnesota. They really controlled that game, 52-29 at halftime, that one going over the total of 145. They may have been looking ahead in the second half in that game to an upcoming game against Wisconsin, which allowed Minnesota to cover that game. All 5 starters scored in double figures in that game, but they only received 3 bench points. So I circled that when handicapping this game, because when you're going to lay this type of number on the road in the best conference in America, you need more than 3 points from your bench, especially going against a team that basically plays 10 players that average 9 or more minutes per game. Of course, I'm talking about the Minnesota Golden Gophers. 3-8 straight up over their last 11 games. Of course, that 11 games string basically started with that loss against Indiana. That snapped an 11-game win streak, so it's been basically a tale of 2 different seasons for this team. Pre-Indiana game and after Indiana game. That 11-game win streak was the 2nd longest in the Tubby Smith era. They've been outscored in their last 2 games. Of course, both of these coming on the road against Ohio State and Iowa by a 143-96 margin, and they've been held to 51.4 points per game in their last 5 contests. When you go against a top-ranked team, a lot of teams aren't going to have that great a record. Minnesota 3-18 all-time when going against the #1 team in the country. All 3 of those victories, though, have come in Minneapolis, but they are 0-6 when that top-ranked team is dressed up in an Indiana uniform. They've also dropped all 4 games against top 10 foes this year, but I can't lay this number with the Indiana Hoosiers in this game. I was thinking about it when I started handicapping this game, but this team hasn't been a home underdog this season. They've been a home favorite during Big Ten Conference play by an average of 8 points, and I know they're not playing their best basketball, but if you're going to get off the mat, it's going to be here in a primetime game on ESPN. Also, the underdog is 16-5 the last 21 meetings, and it has cashed. The underdog getting the points has cashed in 9 of the last 10 meetings in this series. So my official play on this game is going to be the Minnesota Golden Gophers plus 6.5 against the Indiana Hoosiers. I think that's the highest level this line's going to reach after opening at 5.5, 6.5 available at Sports Interaction when you go take a look at SBRodds.com. Definitely follow me on Twitter for any further information on this game at Jeff Grant Sports. This has been another edition of Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Cut.